There's a documentary called The Social Dilemma on Netflix. I think it's also available on YouTube. And one of the things, or two of the things that you can take out from that documentary, people should go watch it, is social media dysmorphia or something along those lines, where young girls see a Kim Kardashian face. They use the filters up to a point, filters and makeup up to a point where they're like, I actually want to go for surgery to look like her because I hate what I look like. And it's caused a lot of depression. I think there's also cases of suicide where young girls just feel ugly because my boobs are not that big, because my jawline is not that chiseled, because my nose is not, and I feel ugly and I want to do a whole lot of things. Another thing that comes out in that documentary is what you're saying about Google. And people will not know this, that depending on which part of the world you're in, your Google search will give you a different result, which means there are people out there who are, for whatever reason, trying to have some type of feel or culture in the space they're in, that when someone Googles, they've done Googles on things like, let's say, I'm trying to think of an example. Let's say, are women happy? And maybe you ask that in Alex, or you ask that in Emlas, versus are women happy in a Stellenbosch? You may find the answers are different. The first thing that pops up, at least, because they have a culture there. You can always argue that it's based on the feedback, but it's the same Google search engine that says that. The way you view women, which I agree with, and many men agree with, and women that are Christian and take accountability agree with, do you feel the same about Black people? Black people have also for decades, centuries been whining and complaining. White people this, apartheid that, we want the land. And it's almost similar to what we hear, women complaining and being victims all the time. But there's almost no accountability that, look, the reason you guys are here is because of the way you behave, the way you vote, the way you spend your money. Do you feel the same? Would you do content aligned to something like that? Because you said you're a woman, so you can speak on that experience. But here you're also Black. Would you speak on that experience?
If TikTok doesn't keep taking down my videos.
Damn.
Because there was a time when I went into things like that, like, okay, Black people, for example, I made a video about the speaking English and how Black people just like, they idolize English so much. And now it's getting to the point where the next generation, the 12-year-olds, they can't speak Vernac anymore. Like, and I'm
including
like, okay,
my children.
So really?
Yeah, my
you
children
did that on
can't
purpose?
Speak. We can speak about it after you answer.
Okay. And I was like, okay, all of this, I love being Black so much. I love our music. I'm a piano and rara. But then now I don't see a future of this music genre because the people that are coming up and supposed to take over, they can't even speak Vernac, you see. And I believe that English is not a measure of intelligence. And that's why sometimes I even pronounce things the way that I want to pronounce them. And I get mocked for it because they're like, oh, she can't even pronounce it properly. And I'm like, I don't care as long as I know what it means and I know what it does. You can pronounce it, but you don't even know what it means, you see. So I've spoken about things like that and I've received backlash from Black people. And that's why TikTok takes it down because they report it as racism or whatever. They just say hate speech and stuff like that. So I definitely believe in being a Black person, and I feel like you can only be a victim to a certain extent. Like, there's literally no way that now we get all of these opportunities, we get to do all of these things, but every time, every paycheck you get, you're at Groove at VIP. That's the reason why these girls can be hosts, because there's men like you that are going to go there into that section and buy alcohol just so that you can sit with that girl in this section. You understand? So it's like, what are you even doing with this little money that you have? Yes, white people, like, they have a big percentage of the wealth, blah, 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 blah. But you are working and you're still doing nothing. You get your 3,000. What are you doing with the 3,000? Nothing. So how can you be trusted with the whole country's wealth? What are you going to do with it if you're not even faithful with your own 3,000 that you have at home? You see? So for me, it's like, you can't keep saying, no, first give me the opportunity, then I'll show you. Start with the one that you have, and then we'll see where it's going. That's why I even spoke about, when I was talking about the Chidima thing, I was talking about Nigerians and how a lot of celebrities would be like, yeah, we stand with Africans, they are independent, but what has your independence done for you? You have no white people. You say that you're not colonized, but what have you done with this freedom that you have? Now it's looking like, hey, we're better off with the white people because at least we get jobs, at least we get to live in decent places. You understand? So it's like, Black people need to take accountability at some point as well and do what they need to do with the little that they have, with whatever that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.